He's one. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer.
When Floyd Mayweather stepped into Crawford's closed camp just months before facing Canelo, no one knew the reason. Was it a pose moment, or flex? Well, it turned into a lesson.
So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money, that's why he's doing exhibition. No, Eddie don't believe that. No. But Eddie will say some shit like that. Eddie will say some shit like that. But one thing, but don't worry about that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Didn't we, Eddie? Me and my buddy got it clear. He said as long as it's 10 or 20. Anything less. Can't be less than 10. Then we're struggling for money. I'd show him some of that account. Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter. 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Too hungry fuckers for money.
Floyd didn't just chill, he trained with Bud for hours, no film, no lights, just top-tier skill at work. And now we've got Floyd's first take, and it wasn't just praise, but real smoke.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, what, because, and I told people this, I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he's like, I want to be the best.
This ain't some regular link-up. This might be the biggest game tweak since 2013. So let's unpack it. Looked petty at first, Floyd's moves always feel like chess. After tank beefs up pop.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a him. And everybody in the crew with him. I mean, with him.
Same question for you. You're a proud father.
They kicked back at Mayweather's gym laughing and tapping the pads, nothing the deep folks thought. Floyd was just being Floyd, getting close to Bud's rivals for clout.
You got Bud Crawford and Canelo. They're slated to fight in September.
It's going to be an interesting fight. Honestly, it's kind of 50-50 in my opinion. Obviously, Canelo's got the weight and natural size advantage, but Bud's very technically skilled and sharp. Yeah. So it's going to be a good fight.
But folks didn't expect this. Floyd wasn't just chilling. He's steering the ship, and Bud's Canelo plan movement counters tricks all that report. From Stephen B. Edwards says Floyd worked 2 hours. No media, all skill, and they say he stayed helping Bud build the whole play. And when Floyd spoke up, he wasn't gentle or careful. It was a real shot at Canelo. Floyd said, "Crawford's like me." But more calm, I told him, "Canelo's strong but stiff. If you stay quick, you crack him." And that wasn't fluff, it was his playbook for real.
Always that. Always that. Don't waste up. No, waste no punch. Hell no. Get back quick. This ain't number bad. No, hell no. This ain't number bad. This ain't no hell no. You ain't good. You put that shit like that, yeah. You got no camera? How cute I'm looking, man? Am I looking real cute? Hell no, you gonna hit me with that shit. You know what I get.
Even more wild, Floyd said, "When I boxed Canelo, he was raw, now he's bulkier. But slower, Bud's rhythm can freeze him." That wasn't shade. It was a heads up. Mayweather didn't flatter Bud. He said Canelo's wall might tumble under that old school heat.
It's one for the office. Show you in the middle.
So I may do another exhibition this year.
Which one?
Now here's the juicy bit. Floyd didn't just pop up at Bud's camp for fun. He's still got issues with Canelo. Remember 2013 when Canelo was hot, and Floyd was the genius on a mission.
Hey Floyd, what do you think about the fight, Crawford Mayweather? He says he's a good fight. Think the winner should be Canelo?
Sir. This ain't about him right now.
And that night in Vegas back in September, Floyd gave him a lesson, straight up schooled him, took away Canelo's heat, made him miss rounds. One judge called it even, but everyone knew Floyd cooked.
They just announced Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. You like it? I like fight. I like it. What do you like?
I don't fighter, but I think maybe Canelo right now is available.
Devin, yeah. How did Lomachenko look in his last fight? Did he look good? Did you catch it? Yeah. You like Devin? A lot of good skills. Some people say that he's comparable to Floyd Mayweather. What do you think? Nobody?
Since then, that defeat has chased Canelo, while Floyd rocked it like a badge. Now in 2025, Floyd ain't returning to box Canelo, but to do the next best thing, mold the guy who can stop Canelo's reign.
It's really that they don't want. It's not that they want. They don't want to see Tank win because they feel like he's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same fighters out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Motherfucker easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy.
Floyd knows Canelo top to bottom, from his ticks to his gas dips, and he's giving Bud all of it. Like a general handing off the plans, Bud's wanted that Canelo fires since he beat down Spence. Bud didn't just win, he wrecked him, switched up, dropped him, and left with all the belts. That's legacy stuff. But Bud still wanted more.
You faced Mayweather, you were 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And again,
20.
yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro, right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause. And I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved that position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved that position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment, but for some reason doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights, and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But we never gonna know. We never gonna know. And I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
He's been going hard in chats, shouting him out on live and tossing digs and pressers. He wants that name added because beating Canelo is the crown jewel for a Hall of Fame badge.
You say, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. It's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass.
Like, yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on his real match.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Not ducking like he's shook, but playing it smart. Not that he thinks Bud wins, but he knows the real issue is the size gap.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he is not in the plan.
He's not in the plan. Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
Like I say, it makes sense maybe. I don't know right now. I just wanna enjoy this fight. Please let me enjoy this fight. And then you're gonna know what is next for sure.
Let's face it, size is the big question here. This ain't no simple match, it's physics, bloodlines, and greatness all clashing under the ring lights.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2, 3 ways plus less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
Terence is a true ring genius, a master switch man who's already ruled in many classes before.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so I guess we could see it next.
But here's the snag. Bud's wins came at 140 and 147. In 2024, he hit 154, but Canelo has ruled 168. And up like home turf, this man's held belts at light heavy, fought bigger guys, and still put them down.
No, I'm saying at once.
Right.
I'm saying I started at 135. Right? I'm just saying, like, say if Canelo was the champion at 147 to go up 168.
Right in one jump.
Yeah, one jump.
Big jump too. 21 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
For this mega bout, they locked in at 168. That's Canelo's turf. Bud's jumping up maybe 2 or even 3 classes depending how you count. That's a big leap. Not just bulking, it's about keeping the speed and lungs while adding real size.
It is my biggest concern when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford, when people, for some reason, keep mistakenly comparing him to Floyd Mayweather when it comes to being an elusive fighter. Terence Crawford and Boots Ennis has a similar approach to boxing. They are boxer punchers, and it's because Terence Crawford was too big and too strong for most of the opponents. He was too athletic too. Foot speed, hand speed, just too accurate. Physically, probably the best athlete in the boxing world. He does the same thing, which is why he's been dropped, which is why he's been rocked, which is why he gets hit a lot with consecutive punches. You saw him get Madrimov, you saw him get David Hanese, you saw the type of punches he was getting landed on from Showtime Shawn Porter, right? Because he's used to bullying cats. And that's what I'm concerned about with him versus Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo's built for this class. His power fits his frame, his neck's like a trunk. He eats punches like snacks for Bud. This is unknown land. But he told Cigar Talk, no tricks, no cheat deals, no rehydration. Stuff, I'm climbing up 3 full classes. It's me versus him. I weigh in Friday, fight on Saturday. No lies, no edges, just smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Canelo's size is real. He's been cooking at 168 and holds his strength there. But Bud's got speed, brain, and angles. The size makes it risky for Bud, sure, but if he wins, that's headline magic. Bud outsmarts the bigger champ. It's David versus Goliath, but with ring skills. Now here's the twist. Fans are split like a bad Vegas score.
Do I have to ask about Terence Crawford? Do you think it'll add to your legacy, that fight with Crawford?
He's a really good fighter, 2 times undisputed champion. He accomplished so much, so can add a lot to my career.
Canelo's got mass and know-how and a deep fight sheet. He's gone to war with Bivol Kovalev. And though he took a few losses, he's still a tank. Fans say Bud's shots won't sting. He's to lay, and Canelo's gonna just press him. So this is it to Giants. 1 ring. Canelo Alvarez, the stronger force, the legend at 168. Then there's Terence Bud Crawford, the clever technician, the problem nobody cracked. And now with Mayweather behind him.
Have you been in there with Crawford? Yeah. So You've been there with Crawford. You've been there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience. You got Crawford got this. He got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody can do it, it'll be